Hey there, Marvel fans! Welcome back to the channel where we dive into the Marvel Universe's most fascinating characters. Today, we're peeling back the layers on one of the most enigmatic and chilling figures lurking in the shadows of Hell's Kitchen, Muse. If you thought you knew everything about Daredevil's rogues gallery, think again. Muse is a twisted artist whose dark creations have left a mark on both the city and our favorite man without fear. So, grab your popcorn and settle in, because this is one deep dive you don't want to miss. Now you might be thinking, Muse? Is he a new band member or something? Well, Muse is far from a rock star, but he certainly knows how to make a scene. In a world overflowing with renowned heroes and notorious villains, there are some characters who lurk under the radar yet have a massive impact. Muse is one such character. A mysterious figure whose unsettling artistry challenges not just Daredevil, but the very concept of morality in the Marvel Universe. In today's video, we're going to unravel the enigma that is Muse, exploring his origins, his warped sense of creativity, and why he's become one of the most intriguing villains in recent comic history. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll see why Muse deserves a spot on your radar. First appearance in comics. Let's set the stage by traveling back to 2016. Muse made his first haunting appearance in Daredevil Volume 5, Number 7, and from the moment he stepped onto the page, readers knew this wasn't your typical villain of the week. The issue, penned by Charles Soule, with gripping artwork by Ron Garney, immediately immersed us into a chilling narrative. Muse didn't just commit crimes, he orchestrated macabre pieces of art using, well, let's just say unconventional materials. His debut sent shivers down readers' spines and introduced a new level of psychological horror to the Daredevil series. If you haven't picked up this issue yet, do yourself a favor and check it out. Just maybe not right before bedtime. Background and creation. Behind every great character is a creative team that brings them to life. Muse was crafted by writer Charles Soule and artist Ron Garney, both of whom wanted to push the boundaries of Daredevil's narrative. Soule, with his background as an attorney, is no stranger to complex storytelling, and wanted to introduce a villain that wasn't just physically challenging, but also posed ethical and moral dilemmas for our hero. Garney's gritty art style perfectly complemented Muse's eerie aesthetic, bringing a tangible sense of dread to the pages. They drew inspiration from real-world conversations about art, censorship, and the fine line between genius and madness. Muse embodies the chaotic potential of unchecked creativity. He's a dark reflection of what happens when artistic expression ignores all moral boundaries. It's a concept that resonates deeply in today's society, making Muse not just a villain, but a thought-provoking symbol. Muse isn't your run-of-the-mill bad guy. He boasts an array of abilities that make him a formidable adversary. First off, he possesses superhuman strength, agility, and endurance. He's shown to effortlessly evade capture, even from seasoned superheroes and law enforcement. Think about it. He can create massive and elaborate art installations overnight without being detected. That's not just talent, that's superhuman. But his most terrifying power is his unhinged artistic genius. Muse sees the world through a lens that distorts morality and ethics. To him, every act is a form of expression, every victim a canvas. This makes him incredibly unpredictable and dangerous. He doesn't adhere to any known patterns, making it nearly impossible for heroes to anticipate his next move. When you compare him to other Marvel characters, Muse stands out. He's not driven by greed like Kingpin or vengeance like Bullseye. Instead, he's compelled by a twisted sense of purpose that blurs the lines between creation and destruction. In a way, Muse is like a dark fusion of Carnage's chaotic nature and Mysterio's flair for the dramatic. This unique blend of physical prowess and psychological complexity makes Muse a villain that's both a physical threat and a cerebral challenge. The Dark Art Story Arc. Now onto the heart of the matter, the Dark Art Story Arc. This is where Muse truly shines, or perhaps more accurately, casts his darkest shadows. The storyline unfolds with the discovery of gruesome art installations around Hell's Kitchen. These aren't your typical graffiti tags or street murals. They're elaborate displays crafted from the bodies of his victims. The city is thrown into panic as authorities scramble to understand the motive behind these horrific scenes. Muse targets not just ordinary citizens, but also Inhumans, capturing them to create his masterpieces. This brings unwanted attention from various factions, including law enforcement and other superheroes. The media dubs him the artist, and his works become a morbid spectacle that captivates and horrifies the public. This widespread attention only fuels Muse's ego, pushing him to create even more shocking pieces. What's particularly interesting is how Muse communicates, or rather doesn't. He leaves cryptic messages and seems more interested in eliciting a reaction than in any political or ideological goals. His actions force the city to confront uncomfortable questions about freedom of expression and the costs of art that transgresses societal norms. It's a chilling commentary that adds layers to the narrative. Throughout the arc, we see the toll Muse's actions take on the community. Families mourn, fear spreads, and the pressure mounts on Daredevil to stop this madman. The dark art storyline doesn't just showcase a battle between hero and villain. It delves into the psyche of a city under siege by incomprehensible evil. Conflict with Daredevil. Daredevil, aka Matt Murdock, is no stranger to formidable foes, but Muse presents a challenge unlike any he's faced before. Daredevil's heightened senses are pushed to their limits as he tries to track down an adversary who operates without rhyme or reason. Muse doesn't have predictable motivations, which makes him incredibly difficult to anticipate. Their confrontations are intense and brutal. In one encounter, Muse manages to incapacitate Daredevil, leaving him vulnerable, a rare and dangerous position for the seasoned hero. The psychological warfare is just as significant as the physical battles. Muse taunts Daredevil with his creations, forcing him to witness the aftermath of his failures. He questions Daredevil's role as a protector, making him confront the possibility that his efforts might be futile in the face of such unbridled chaos. One of the most compelling aspects of their conflict is how it pushes Daredevil to question his own moral code. Matt Murdock has always walked a fine line between justice and vigilantism. Muse blurs that line even further. Is it acceptable to cross certain boundaries to stop someone who has no regard for life or morality? Daredevil grapples with these questions, adding depth to his character and highlighting the complexities of being a hero in a world where not everything is black and white. The climax of their conflict culminates in a high-stakes showdown where Daredevil must outthink and outmaneuver Muse. It's not just about physical strength, but understanding his opponent's twisted psyche. In the end, Daredevil manages to apprehend Muse, but not without cost. The encounter leaves lasting scars, both literally and figuratively, and sets the stage for potential future confrontations. The resolution is satisfying yet open-ended, leaving readers eager for more. Let's delve deeper into what makes Muse tick. Psychologically, Muse is a fascinating study. He's a savant-level artist with a complete disconnect from conventional morality. His actions suggest a form of antisocial personality disorder, but labeling him as merely insane feels reductive. Muse operates on a set of principles that are internally consistent, even if they are abhorrent to society at large. He embodies the theme of art without limits. In his mind, true art requires total freedom from societal constraints, including laws and ethics. This philosophy puts him at odds with everyone else, making him a lone wolf who doesn't ally himself with other villains or organizations. His isolation intensifies his unpredictability and danger. Muse forces characters within the story, as well as readers, to confront uncomfortable questions. How far should freedom of expression go? At what point does art become harm? These are real-world debates mirrored in his actions. By exaggerating these issues to horrific extremes, Muse acts as a catalyst for introspection about censorship, the value of art, and the responsibilities that come with creative freedom. Moreover, Muse serves as a dark counterpart to Daredevil. While Daredevil uses his abilities to protect and uphold justice, Muse uses his to disrupt and challenge the status quo. They both operate outside the typical structures of society, but in opposing directions. This dichotomy adds richness to their conflict and underscores the nuanced exploration of heroism within the series. In addition, Muse's character can be seen as a commentary on the destructive potential of obsession. His drive to create pushes him beyond any moral considerations, illustrating how passion without restraint can lead to monstrosity. It's a cautionary tale that resonates beyond the pages of the comic, touching on universal themes of balance and the consequences of extremism. Through Muse, the writers effectively use the medium of comics to explore deep philosophical questions, elevating the narrative from a simple hero versus villain story to a complex examination of ethics, art, and society. It's storytelling at its finest, proving that even in a world of superheroes, there are still fresh and compelling stories to be told. While Muse's appearances have been relatively limited, his influence is significant. His actions in the Dark Art arc have had lasting effects on Daredevil and the broader community of Hell's Kitchen. For Daredevil, the encounter with Muse has led to a deeper reflection on his methods and the nature of the threats he faces. It's a sobering reminder that not all villains fit the traditional mold, and sometimes the greatest challenges come from the most unexpected places. Muse's unique brand of villainy has opened doors for more nuanced storytelling within the Marvel Universe. He's a reminder that not every threat needs to be a world-ending catastrophe to be impactful. Sometimes the most profound stories come from intimate, character-driven conflicts. There's also potential for Muse to interact with other characters in the Marvel Universe. Imagine how someone like Spider-Man, who also deals with the balance of responsibility and personal life, would handle a foe like Muse. Or consider the philosophical debates that could arise between Muse and characters like Doctor Strange or Professor X. The possibilities are intriguing, and fans have been speculating about where Muse might pop up next. In terms of legacy, Muse has set a precedent for the introduction of more psychologically complex villains. His presence encourages writers to explore darker themes and challenge readers with morally ambiguous scenarios. This enriches the Marvel Universe, making it a more diverse and thought-provoking place. So what's next for Muse? While there's no official word on his return, the door is certainly open. His capture at the end of the Dark Art arc feels more like a pause than an ending. Given the richness of his character and the impact he's had, it's likely we'll see Muse wreak havoc again, possibly in even more unexpected ways. In the broader scope of Marvel media, including movies and TV shows, Muse could offer a fresh and compelling antagonist. His story fits perfectly with the darker, grittier tone of series like Daredevil on streaming platforms. Only time will tell. In the meantime, Muse remains a fascinating study in the Marvel Universe. A villain who challenges not just our heroes, but also our perceptions of art, morality, and justice. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button, share with your fellow Marvel enthusiasts, and subscribe for more content. Until next time, keep exploring, true believers.